Back on the lawn Friday. So I'm gonna give you kind of a quick overview. If you guys want to watch this entire video, it's long, great, feel free, but I'm just basically gonna give you the key takeaways right now in the first short minutes. What you'll see if you watch this whole thing is on Monday of this week, so 5 days ago, I did an application of Humic at about 164 times the rate on this spot where these chairs are. And you'll see why those chairs are there if you do watch the whole thing. Here's the takeaways. So this got water one time. I put the sprinkler on it one time because this is the area that usually dries out. Now, typically what I see is this area, if you look in some of the other videos, this gets browned out really quickly just through here. And this bald spot you'll see in the video I pointed out as well, this is an area where I ran across. This is actually filling in just in this short time. This is new, this is all new, this is coming up. So there's been some significant changes, but here's what I want to show you. So I put a gallon of Humic on 200, I want to say it came out to 250 square feet. To see sort of what hitting it with just an absurd rate would do to the overall health of the soil. I wasn't really concerned much with what the grass was going to do, except that I thought we would see something like a little bit of actually a brownout in a way, but that never happened. So here's what I want to show you. I've got one of these right here. Now, you'll see in the video when I started how short the grass was, and I'll kind of walk you through what I did throughout the week, but this is what I want to show you right now. So this grass, if you can see, that is 2.5 to 3 inches tall here. I'd say that's safe, 2.5 to 3 inches. Yep. Okay, this got that shot of Humic. All this new grass is coming in now. It's really starting to fill. The moisture retention in here has been awesome. So that's really cool. Now, I'm gonna go just down here. So the line, you can almost see the growth line where everything was sprayed. See how it's longer here and not so much. Now, this I've kind of let to grow. This has been cut a bunch of times, and I'm gonna cut again today. But let me just roll over here to this, because this was cut at the same time as that upper, and you can see how much longer that is right over there as you kind of come across here. So we've got, I gotta press that down. Maybe if I don't, I'm 1.5 inches is what that's up to right there. Maybe 2 inches in some of the longer spots. Okay. So the growth in 5 days is more than double over here than it was over here, because this was all cut to 1/2 inch, the whole thing, and it's just been growing since. So the growth on this in 5 days, just letting it be what it is basically 1 inch. It's growing 1 inch in the heat of the summer, so figure it's going to get 1.5 inches a week is about what its maximum growth is going to be, and that's getting up over 3 inches, so that's grown 2.5 inches in a week with that application. So in a way that sums it up. Now you can kind of run through the adventure of why I did it, and take a look at everything, how it's progressed throughout the week. And I am gonna mow this grass and take it all down to a nice low level again. And I don't really still need to water this. It's crazy. I mean, that soaking that I did on it, it's still holding a lot of moisture. But anyway, this video, it's about Humic 12 and sort of the magic of what that potion can do if you just kind of use it, you know, regularly, and put it in your program to fix your soil. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up, get it all together, and you know, if you guys make it through this entire video, good on you, because it's kind of long. So enjoy it. I'm gonna get to the mow, and I'll talk to you guys in a minute. Okay, so here's what I'm doing today. It is Monday morning. 4th of July is coming up, so happy 4th, everybody. Last week, I talked about this one, the one area up high that I was going to go ahead and put a gallon of Humic on. Today's that day. So the area I'm talking about here is right here. Just there. Okay, so you can see still that this is, you know, one of the areas that was damaged the most, and it doesn't look like anything's feeding in there anymore. I do think we've gotten that pretty much under control. So I sowed some seed early on, if you guys remember that, and it had a hard time because the ground squirrels kept coming in and lopping it off. But see, it's still here. It is still present, all the new stuff. You see where it kind of took hold under here? So I'm gonna see if I can do some greater encouragement of this particular area. Now, again, it's next to nothing. Really, the thin spot here is, let's see, about 4 feet right here, about 4 feet that way, about 10 feet that way. So literally 40 square feet of an area that it's kind of up and on the native soil. Let me show you what I mean by the native soil. Up here, I didn't really do much prep. I just had some extra turf. It was never really intended to have any sod. And so when I put it down, I basically put it down on this stuff. It's just rocky, and that, I mean, this gray rock is just everywhere. So it's got a lot of this kind of aggregate underneath it. It got really no topsoil, and I'll show you. Just see where these ground squirrels dug through before. They hollowed this out pretty nice, actually. Look at that. This is just the sort of dryish, you know, it's okay, but it drains fairly quickly, and it's, you know, there was no real prep, I guess is all I'm trying to say here. If you look through these pictures right now, you can see how this started out years ago when I bought the house. This was actually horseshoe pits. It was gravel, and that's basically what it was. So I leveled out the area. I scraped topsoil all through up here that I could find. There was actually a nice vein of topsoil just right back on the side part of the yard over here, and managed to dig a bunch out of there and pull some stuff down to create this elevated area across here, and that's really what it is. So as you go across, like towards the playground, the soil is deeper, but it still gets down into some gravelly stuff, and the water holds much better over here. So it's considerably easier to keep the grass healthy on the shelf where it's leveled. And so you can see how it kind of rises up on the hill into the natural slope where the grass struggles a little bit more. Now, it doesn't get any extra attention, and that's why I'm thinking I want to just go ahead and crush it with Humic and just see what happens. I know that what we do in Georgia on our field, we flood that place to amend the soil, because it was basically just a kind of a pad for a second building. And we've gotten this just beautiful stand of Bermuda out there just from giving it Humic over and over and over again. So that's what I'm gonna do here today. I'm gonna need to get my ortho out, grab some Humic 12, and I'm gonna have to fill that thing 4 times and just stand on this spot and load it up. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Paint it black. Drink it black. Yeah. All right, that was a gallon. Now, that is a lot, okay? It's a lot. This is more of a, let's just see what it'll do kind of thing. Not suggesting you guys go out and do this. Maybe you want to. If you've got soil that just is crap in an area and you want to fix it, you could go at a super high rate. But I mean, this was a super high rate, like 20, 30 times. So that was a full gallon in this area from right here, painted black from that bald spot there, straight across to the rocks. You can see the line. And just around here, this is the absolute worst area. So why not? We'll do that. So I'm gonna just catalog this throughout the next couple of days on this video, since today is Monday and I'll be posting it Friday, so you'll be able to see everything. But let's just see what happens. My initial thoughts, this is gonna have a bit of a drying effect because there was so much, and it's gonna pull and wick a little bit of moisture, plus the potassium that was just put out in that area is gonna be fairly high. So we'll see what it does, but this will be a fun little test to see if that grass decides to come in up on the top of the hill there. And just, that's it. So next update tomorrow morning. What you doing? Hey.
I'm waiting.
You look like you just woke up.
Because I'm hungry. For breakfast.
You're saying I gotta feed you now? I can't just look at the grass and feed it all the time?
If you don't feed other people, how are they going to stay alive?
That's a good question. Should we go eat?
That's what I was asking you.
Day two. After the painted black that I did with that gallon of Humic. So, thought I'd take a look at it. I still haven't watered. It's 5 days since watering. Let's see if you can even still see this. So, right here. Okay, but I need to point something out. So, if you see right here, this grass is shorter than this grass. You look up here. There's actually been a little bit of a spike in the growth because I mowed this before I put that Humic on, so it flushed up a bit. And let's see if I can maybe compare that. See how long these blades are right here? Now I cut all of this down to 1/2 inch, just like over here. So this section has lit some stuff up. I mean, look right in here, you can see where it's gotten longer. So I did mow it before I put that app down. So let me show you the rest. So this is right here. This was also mowed yesterday. And you can see the length of that by comparison. Now, if you look right down this line, right here, there's a difference in length between this grass and this grass. And it extends down there past that hose. I'm gonna pan this way, and you can see where there's a line right there where it's a different length. So what Chris Elms, one of my sales reps, and I decided to do was set up a cornhole green challenge. The court is 8 feet by 40 feet. 8 feet wide, 40 feet long, and it's going to get a 1 foot fringe, just like a golf green. So you have the space to put the cornhole on either side, and you have an area that's defined as a green. But I only first cut it last night, so let's see if you can see the shape here. It's right here, around like this, up like that, just to be on the hose, right over there, and then back down this way. So there is a difference in length that's happening between one side or the other. And you can almost see a little bit of striping because I took the guides back off that reel mower so that I could get it even lower through here. But tomorrow night and on 4th of July, I have people over and we're gonna set the thing up here, and I'm hoping to see a fairly defined line. So what I was actually thinking of doing today, just because why not, is going ahead and running some d-Thatch out, because it is getting hot and I am cutting this every day to every other day. So it's not building anything up, really. I still don't have any thatch. I have good soil contact, but it could help, you know, might help flush it just a little bit more and see what happens. So I'm actually just gonna go ahead and do that right now. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do 16 ounces total. That'll get me everything that I need to do for this, and so yeah, let's do that. That's gonna be the cornhole green. Nice and level. Color's great. Still hanging in there. Hasn't needed any water, obviously, since I flooded it all out. So there's Tuesdays up to. I mean, the area that we flooded out with the Humic is doing great. I'll be the most curious to see if we see greater germination in this zone from that old seed that's in here. But the amount of growth that spiked in 24 hours is pretty significant. It's definitely in there unlocking the soil a bit, so that's cool. Yeah, in fact, well, I don't know, maybe. Nah, I think it must have been chewed up from the rodents that had to have germinated already, but well, we'll see. Let's just see what happens through Friday. Day 3 since Paint It Black. Let's go take a look. It is July 3rd. I got a party happening over here tonight, and been working on something in the lawn. It's kind of hard to see because I waited until the last second to start it. But first off, let's take a look and see what's happening up here. I just ran a little bit of water up on the hill where I painted it black. Here, I got my stadium seating set up right now. The biggest thing that I can tell you after 3 days is that the grass is growing fast here, significantly faster than everything else. Everything was mowed at the same time, and it's got these areas that are coming up, you know, a couple of inches, and it was all cut down with that reel mower to the same point. Show you right over here. So on this side, mowed at the same time, grass is here. So it's still pretty short. You know, I cut it down to 1/2 inch, and it's, you know, 1 inch barely right now. So that was here. Now, you see the bench down there, bench right here. This area right down the middle, if you can see it, is 8 feet wide, right here to right there, and 40 feet down to that end. This is going to be our cornhole green. So I've got this cut to 1/2 inch. That's 1 inch over there. This is now up to 2 inches from where I painted it. And you can actually see right in here where that growth line ends, because that was where I stopped spraying the Humic. See that curve? I just ran it right down this rock side. So the grass is significantly longer right through here and growing at that average length right now. But I still have this cut down 1/2 inch. You can see on my finger, it's only halfway up. So this is gonna end up being the cornhole green. So we're gonna have a little bit of fun out here this afternoon. July 3rd, they fire off fireworks at the ski resort straight across from us here, and then they do it again over here at this base area on that side. So tonight, we're watching the fireworks from the deck. Tomorrow we'll go into town to do that. So as far as it goes, grass color staying consistent, It didn't really dry it out. I watered today just because it is hot and it's in the sun, because that's still thinner. The rest of it has not needed any since I flooded it last week. I'm coming up on almost 7 days now without, today is day 6 without watering the rest of the lawn. So it's holding very nicely, even though I've been cutting this down and cutting it down basically every day to keep it at this 1/2 inch for the last today's the 3rd day. So, 2.5 days really. So there's not enough of a definition yet to really see the cornhole pitch, but there'll be some fun and games going up here later this afternoon. So I gotta get back to getting everything cleaned up, and then we'll get a little footage out here this afternoon as well. Oh, good times, party in full effect over here. Cornhole pitch is going pretty well. Proud to say I am undefeated tonight.
I want squishy. I'm getting squishy.
Happy 4th of July, everybody. Lawn update. It's now the afternoon. I didn't get a chance to get out here and do this morning. I had to get into town and set up for music. It's still growing very fast down here. The grass is considerably taller where I drowned it in the Humic than anywhere else, so that's kind of interesting. So my plan is I'm gonna water very heavily Saturday. Give it a good soaking, so that would be like 9 days since it's last. And then I head out of town for a week, head down to Georgia. Gonna go meet up with a couple of people next week, and then into Florida for a few days for some meetings. So I'll be doing some stuff from down there. But anyway, this is your Thursday update, and I'll jump back on here tomorrow morning and get this video all loaded up. All right, so you made it through. Congratulations. So as you can see, just throughout the week, what has changed up there and how much it has thickened up, just in the course of 5 days. And exactly 5 days, because I did it Monday morning. It is now Friday morning, and that was basically it. So we had a lot of fun on this thing, a lot of traffic on it this week, and I mowed back down to 1/2 inch, whoops, all the way around. So I'm gonna let it grow out while I'm gone. Head out of town on Sunday, and then I'll be back to kind of look at it the following Sunday. So it'll be a little bit while it just sits up here. So we've got some extreme heat coming next week, and so that'll be good that it grows up a little bit. Get my sprinklers put back out here before I leave town, and but today's gonna get a bit of a medium watering, tomorrow followed by a heavy one, and see how long that's gonna take it. So anyway, that's all I got. I hope everybody had a safe and awesome 4th of July, and I'll talk to you guys all real soon. See ya.